Hello, hello, fiends, and welcome to another horrific edition of Casey's Creepy Creations. Tonight, we have a truly nauseating little nugget that I wrote and narrated, which I like to call The Rift. As always, we caution that the above video is not suitable for children, and if you suffer from a weak heart, please watch at your own risk. The Rift. The 22nd century began with hope but will likely end in catastrophe. Earth, once bountiful and thriving, now scrapes by on the brink of collapse. Humanity's insatiable appetite for growth has drained the planet of its resources. Crops fail, energy is scarce, and even breathable air is a commodity. But in the shadow of despair, one man emerges with a spark of hope, Dr. Simon Ross. A scientist and visionary, Ross dedicates his life to finding salvation for humanity. He works tirelessly in his laboratory, piecing together a solution as the world watches with bated breath, and then he delivers. A portal, no, a gateway to parallel Earths. Dimensional exploration, he calls it. Within infinite parallel realities, countless untouched versions of Earth exist. But miracles can have unintended consequences, and some doors should never be opened. Early expeditions through the dimensional portal are nothing short of groundbreaking. Teams of scientists, explorers, and engineers cross the barrier into strange new worlds. Dr. Ross is called a savior, humanity's last hero. But not all alternate Earths are lifeless. In hushed tones, expedition teams speak of strange findings. A faint whiff of ash in the air where no fire should burn, a shadow on the horizon where no sun casts light. These eerie hints are dismissed as paranoia. After all, science marches forward and time is running out. Then one day, Dr. Ross himself steps through the gateway. The mission was supposed to be routine. Dr. Ross and his team, a mix of seasoned explorers and eager newcomers, gathered at the portal, their faces illuminated by the eerie shimmer of the device. Ross was confident, perhaps too confident. "By the time we're back," he joked, "we might just have enough resources to declare Earth reborn." The crossing was uneventful, the familiar rush of distortion as their bodies shifted dimensions. On the other side, they find themselves on a barren yet mysterious Earth. A reddish haze clings to the air as endless canyons stretch out beneath a bruised purple sky. The ground feels damp but ashen, like soil soaked in centuries of sorrow. There is no wind, no sound, just an oppressive silence that gnaws at their nerves. As they venture deeper, the team begins to notice things that shouldn't be there. Fractured echoing whispers, strange shadows that flicker without light. And then they see it. Not a creature, not a person, something else entirely. In the distance, its sprawling form shifts like smoke and ink against the sky, its presence heavy and suffocating as if it's not just there, but everywhere. The team halts. Every instinct tells them to retreat, to run, but scientific curiosity keeps them anchored. Then the whispers grow louder, the shadows grow sharper, and the air grows cold. The thing moves closer, not with legs, not with wings, but with an unspeakable grace that defies physics. Tendrils of black fog spread across the ground, curling toward the team like searching fingers. It does not speak, but somehow they understand. Their presence is not welcome. Worse still, the creature seems to sense something more, the portal they came through. Dr. Ross realizes too late, the entity now knows their means of escape. More than that, it knows that the portal leads to a treasure more valuable than this desolate Earth. It knows about their Earth. And it wants in. Chaos erupts. The team flees, stumbling over rocky terrain, desperate to put distance between themselves and the entity. But it is everywhere. It twists the world around them, turning pathways into endless loops, unraveling their sense of direction. It's as though the dimension itself is bending to the creature's will. One by one, expedition members are picked off, not by violence, but by fear. They scream into the void, clawing at illusions, their minds broken. Dr. Ross fights to keep the survivors together, his own terror held at bay by sheer determination. "We can't let it reach the portal," he yells, his voice echoing over the barren wasteland. But the entity is relentless, a predator that feeds on their hope. Desperation builds as they realize the gateway must be shut down. before the creature slips through to their vulnerable Earth. Huddled in a small cave, Ross devises a plan. If they can activate the gateway's fail-safe mechanism from this side, they can trap the entity in its own dimension, for now at least. The team asks the obvious question, what happens to us? Ross doesn't answer. The journey back to the portal is fraught with danger. The entity grows bolder, revealing flashes of its true form, a form that defies reason and imagination. It no longer hides in shadows, it revels in their terror. The whispers are now deafening screams, a cacophony of rage and hunger that drives them to the brink. Yet they press on, battered and broken. For every step forward, they leave behind a piece of themselves. Every moment is a gamble against the entity's growing power. At last they reach the gateway, but their victory is short-lived. The entity is there, waiting, coiled like a serpent ready to strike. The portal stands open, its energy pulsating like a heartbeat. Ross knows there is no time to rethink the plan. They must act now. As the device begins its shutdown sequence, the entity lunges. A final battle erupts, a battle not of fists or weapons, but of will and sacrifice. Several brave team members throw themselves into the line of fire, buying Ross precious seconds to activate the failsafe. The air shatters with distorted shrieks as the entity grows desperate. With one final surge of effort, Ross triggers the shutdown. The gateway collapses, imploding in a brilliant flash of energy. For a moment, silence reigns. The entity is gone. The survivors breathe a shaky sigh of relief. But as smoke clears, the portal's shimmering after-image lingers for just a moment too long. A subtle ripple cuts through the air and Ross's face darkens. He realizes something horrifying. The barrier wasn't sealed completely. Back on Earth, the world praises Ross as a hero, hailing his invention for delaying humanity's end. Few know the truth of what transpired on that other Earth. Fewer still realize that Ross carries a terrible secret. He stares at the night sky, haunted by visions of the entity. Somewhere it is waiting, watching, and the gateway might still be open, just enough. He also wonders if perhaps the faith he had long held in science and technology might not have been better served in just a few moments of prayer and divine introspection. The story ends not with peace, but with a question. Has humanity truly escaped its doom, or has it invited an even greater one into its midst? The riff leaves its audience with an ominous thought. Sometimes salvation comes at a price too high to pay. Well, boils and ghouls, we've come to the end of yet another terrifying tale. If you've liked what you've seen, please feel free to drop us a like, a comment, or maybe even a subscription. They may seem like little things to you, but they mean a lot to us here at the dungeon. If you liked the video and would like to find out how it was made, click the link in the description below. I am affiliated with Flicky AI and will receive commission if you decide to make a purchase, but they also have a free plan as well, if you would like to try it out. Thanks and unpleasant dreams until we meet again.